Om Tvameva Mata Cha Pita Tvameva Tvameva Bandhuscha Saka Tvameva Tvameva Vidya Dravinam Tvameva Tvameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva Sri Dakshinamurti Sudeshikendram Dvaipayanam Sutrakritam Munindram Sri Shankaram Bhashyakritam Yatindram Maddeshi Namami Vityai Om Namo Brahmadibhyo Brahma Vidya Sampradaya Kartrubhyo Vamsarishibhyo Mahadbhyo Namo Gurubhyah Sarvopaplavarahita Prajnana Ganaha Pratyagarto Brahmaivahamasmi Om Prapannaparijataya Totra Vetraikapanaye Jnana Mudraya Krishnaya Gita Mritaduhe Namaha. Pranams everyone. We are doing the 16th chapter right now. In the 16th chapter, it is called as the Daiva Asura Sampat Vibhaga Yoga. Bhagavan is enumerating the Daiva characters and the Asura characters, the good values and the bad habits, bad characters. And then in the first three slokas, Bhagavan had enumerated about 26 values for a Daiva Sampat person. Starting with Abhayam Sattva Samshuddhihi Jnana Yoga Vyavastitihi. In the first three slokas, after giving all the Daiva Sampat characters, he in the fourth sloka gave the key characteristics of a Asura. And in that he basically gave 6 characteristics of an Asura. Dambah, Darpah, Abhimanah, Krodha, Parushyam, Ajnanam. Basically showing off or pretension, arrogance, vanity, anger, harshness, and a lack of Dharma, Adharma knowledge. And he said these characteristics belong to a person who is born with Asuri Sampat. So we then inferred from the third and the fourth shloka that people come with some samskaras. People are born with some samskaras. The Daiva Sampat or Asura Sampat are got from previous janmas. And we can actually change our character in this life, but we always come with a baggage. Then in the fifth shloka, Bhagavan basically described what happens if somebody has Daiva Sampat and what happens if to a person who has Asura Sampat. And he said Daiva Sampat leads to liberation, freedom, moksha, and Asura Sampat leads to bondage. Basically, he will continue to remain in samsara. And we actually, when we did some vichara, we knew that to gain Daiva Sampat, to gain good values, we will have to put some effort. But to move into Asura Sampat or to get Asura values, we don't need to do anything. If we don't put any effort towards acquiring good values, we will automatically gather all the bad characteristics. So this is in the fifth shloka. And in the fifth shloka, Bhagavan also confirmed to Arjuna, Arjuna, don't worry, you do not grieve. Ma Shuchaha Pandava, you are born with Daivi Sampat. He basically told Arjuna or clarified to Arjuna that you need not grieve, you are born with Daivi Sampat. And in the sixth shloka, Dvaubhuta Sargau Lokesmin Daiva Asura Evacha. Bhagavan said, in this world, the human world, we can divide them into two types of beings. One, the Daiva Sampat people, and then the other one is Asura. And he mentioned that, look, I have described about Daiva people so far. Now, from now on, I will be describing about Asura. Asura people from here on. Then we started doing the 7th Sloka from last class. I'll chant the Sloka and then we'll go further from there. Did we do 7 or did we do? No, we finished 7. Okay. So 7 we'll do this. Pravritim cha nivritim cha jana cha vidurasura. Janana vidurasura. Na shaucham na pichacharaha na satyam teshu vidyate. Here basically Bhagavan said that the Asura people do not know what is to be done and what is not to be done. They do not know Dharma, Adharma. He reiterated that people, they do not know what is the difference between Dharma and Adharma. Not that they don't know, but they don't believe in Dharma and Adharma. So that is basically said, Pravritim cha nivritim cha. They na viduhu. They do not know what is to be done and what is not to be done. And further, these Asura people do not have purity. Shaucham na viduhu. They do not have purity. They do not have external purity. They do not have internal purity. And then, na cha acharaha. They do not follow any religious discipline. They do not believe in any kind of achara, religious discipline. They basically do according to what they like and do not follow any kind of discipline. Then finally, na satyam api. They do not believe in truthfulness. They don't speak truth. That is their swabhava. So they basically Bhagavan basically gave another 4 characteristics of an Asura here. In the 4th Sloka he had given 6. Now in the 7th Sloka he had given another 4 more. Now in the 8th Sloka, which we started doing last class, we'll do. Shri Bhagavanu Vacha Asatyam Apratishtam Te Jagadahuranishwaram Aparaspara Sambhutam Kimanyat Kama Haitukam. Asatyam Apratishtam Te Jagadahuranishwaram Aparaspara Sambhutam Kimanyat Kama Haitukam. So here Bhagavan says these Asuras have a view of this world. They have a peculiar or a separate view of this world. And according to them, the Asuras, the world has got 3 attributes. They give 3 attributes to this world. First one is Asatyam. Then Apratishtam. Then the third one is Anishwaram. Asatyam Apratishtam Te Jagada Pura Anishwaram. Jagat Ahuhu. Te Ahuhu. They say, or these Asuras say, that the world is Asatyam, Apratishtam and Anishwaram. And we saw Asatyam in the last class. Asatyam, as I said, it's different from the way we Advaitins call the world. We Advaitins also say the world is Asatyam. But where we say Brahma Satyam, Jagat Mithya. And there we say Asatyam means the world is seemingly real. That is what we meant there. But here when Asura says the world is Asatyam, here the Jagat means the people of the world. And then they say the people of the world or the entire world, nobody is truthful. Everybody tells lies. Everybody speak falsehood only. This is their view of the world. And they will not like to believe that there is any good person around. And even if somebody does something good, the Asuras' point of view would be that the other person is doing something because there was no choice for them, or they had something to gain because of doing that. So they will not agree that a person can be nice or good on their own. This is their view of the world. This is one way of looking at Asatyam. And we talked about, how there is in a Nyaya or philosophy in our scriptures where we say, Atmavat Manyate Jagat. We think the world to be ourselves only. So whenever we are evaluating anybody, we actually evaluate or we judge that person from our standpoint, from the way we see the world. And we will believe that the other person also sees the world from the same standpoint as us. So the Asura, because they do not speak the truth, they believe that the world also will not speak the truth. So they always think that the others are doing it either for gaining something physical, financially, materially, or they do not have a choice. So they are not sattvic people. This is one meaning. Then there is another meaning of asatyam. The another meaning of the asatyam is here the Asura's belief is that the world is devoid of Veda Pramana. See, according to us, the world is functioning according to Dharma. The world functions because of Dharma. Everything has got its duty. The sun has its duty, Dharma. The moon has its duty, the earth, Bhuma Devi has the duty, the Varuna Bhagavan has the duty. Everybody has got their own duties or Dharma. And the world functions according to that. If somebody alters, then there would be an impact in other places. And then soon there will be something that will happen which will create and bring back the world to its equilibrium. So the world functions according to Dharma. And Dharma includes all the Samanya Dharma we had discussed earlier also. The 26 values that we discussed in this chapter, the 20 values that we discussed in chapter 13 are all Samanya Dharma. Those are all Dharma given for a human being. So the world functions according to Dharma, whereas for an Asura, for them there is no Dharma or Adharma. And where do we get the knowledge about Dharma and Adharma? We get the knowledge from the Vedas. But for the Asuras, they believe that the Vedas are unnecessary. The Vedas are irrelevant. They claim that the Vedas are not applicable for today's world. In fact, in Sivan Sir's book, Eni Padilil Mandargal, the first text about a papi is Vedangalai Nindipavan Papi. He says a person who actually criticizes Vedas is a sinner or is a papi. An Asura believes that the Vedas are unnecessary and irrelevant. We have discussed about Vedas, Shastras in our introduction to Vedanta. But here I'll just quickly say, what is Vedas? Vedas are basically the manual for this world. Generally, whenever anything is produced, anything is manufactured, a manual is printed together. Isn't it? When we actually buy any object or anything from any goods from the shop, there is always a manual which will contain what is the do's, what is the don'ts, how to maintain it, how to manage it, what do we need to do in terms of in case of any issues and all those things. What can be done with it, what should not be done with it, all those things would be written in that. And that manual is true from something like a very small object, say a pressure cooker, to even something bigger like a car. Everything has got a manual. They have do's and don'ts. Similarly, we have come to this world. What will be the do's and don'ts for us? What should be the guiding principles for us? Where can we find out what can we do with this world? What cannot be done with this world? What can we expect from this world? What we cannot expect from this world? What is the purpose of our life? All those things are available in the Vedas. The Vedas are the manual for us. It will tell us exactly how to utilize this world, what can be utilized, what can be done, what cannot be done. Vedas will tell us how I can utilize this world for my personal growth. The other education, whatever education that we study in school, it tells about how to make money. Definitely how to make our money, it will tell us, but only the Shastras will teach us how to lead our life. So Vedas are very important from that standpoint. Vedas are the manual, we can say. And for an Asura, they believe Jagat Asatyam. When they say Jagat Asatyam, they mean that the Vedas have nothing to do with, or they have got nothing to do with this world, or the Vedas have nothing to offer to the world. So they have this feeling. Asatyam. Jagat Asatyam. Then Jagat Apratishtam. Apratishtam means, again, the world they say is devoid of Dharma. As I said, what is sustaining this world? This world is sustained through Dharma. Dharma is the one which is protecting the world. That's why Bhagavan also says, when Adharma overpowers Dharma by too much, he will take avatara and restore Dharma. Abhyuttam adharmasya tadatmanam paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha duskritam dharma samsthapanartha shambhavami yuge yuge. There Bhagavan says this will come, actually this sloka will come in chapter 4. So where Bhagavan will actually say that whenever the adharma goes or adharma takes over or takes a bigger share of this world, then dharma will be restored, and to restore dharma, Bhagavan will take avatar. So here for the Asura, he believes or he will claim that dharma is not the one which is sustaining this world. According to him, the world is not sustained by anything. So we believe that the world is sustained by dharma. What do the Asuras believe in? How the world is sustained? That answer is actually coming in the second line of the same sloka. We'll come to that later. But they believe that dharma is not sustaining this world. So if dharma is not there, then automatically for them adharma is also not there. There is no dharma, there is no adharma. If that is the case, then there is no papa for them, there is no punya for them. They do not believe in papam or punyam. So no dharma, no adharma, so no papam, no punyam. So the world is not sustained by dharma. This is what they believe in. And for us, what do we say? The world is protected by Dharma, the world is sustained by Dharma. And who created this world? We will say Ishvara created this world. Because we say Ishvara is Jagat Karta. So we say who created this world? Ishvara. But what do they say? In the third description for the world, Anishwaram. Anishwaram means they say world is Anishwaram. The world does not need Ishvara. They do not believe in the concept of Ishvara. Or in other words, they are a Nastika. A Nastika is a person who does not believe in Ishvara or Vedas. For us, Ishvara is the sustainer of Dharma. So for them, when Dharma itself is not there, who should be there to sustain it? There is no need for any Ishvara. If we have to understand Ishvara through some logic, as I said, this world, there is a balance. There is a balance in this world. The sun has to be at a particular degrees. If it goes higher, if it goes lower than that heat that it is currently in, all things around us will perish, including us. The earth has to rotate in its particular axis. If it goes out of its axis, there will be a problem. It has to revolve 360 within 365 days. If it doesn't revolve that way, there are a lot of things will have problem. Everything has been put in a place with some kind of a balance. And the world is now working on a proper model. We have a proper gravitational force, we have magnetic force, we have electrical force, we have energy. There is an ecological balance. How, we would have studied in science when we were young in school, how there is an ecological balance. And everything is a cycle. We call it as an ecological cycle also. So this sustenance is done through all these forces. And these forces, we say, if there exists something, then there has to be a creator behind it. And then that creator for us is Ishvara. Whereas for a Asura, these forces have been created out of accident. They do not believe that there is a concept of Ishvara behind it. And for us, how do we understand Ishvara? We understand Ishvara through the pramanas, Shastra Pramana. We understand who is Ishvara. Again, Introduction to Vedanta series, we talked about 3 levels of Ishvara. We will see that again in Bhagavad Gita. But 3 levels of Ishvara, and 3 levels of Ishvara has been described by Shastras. We understand Ishvara through Shastras. So our Pramana, the source of knowledge, is Shastra. And for them, because they do not believe in Veda, where is the question of understanding Ishvara? They will not be able to understand Ishvara also. So for them, Jagat Asatyam, Jagat Apratishtam, Jagat Anishwaram. They believe that the world is not real, the world is not sustained, or the world is not real, or the world is without truth. The second is the world is not sustained by Dharma. And the third is the world is without any Ishvara. When we say Jagat Asatyam, I just again want to clarify. When we say Jagat Asatyam, we mean that Jagat is Mithya. When we say Mithya, the world is ever changing. It is not changeless Nityam principle. It is not Shashvatam. That is why we say Jagat Mithya. But for an Asura, the world is full of people who lie, entire all set of people, or everybody are cheats. There is no relevance to Vedas. For them, Vedas are unnecessary. There is no differentiation between Dharma and Adharma. There is no Papa or Punya for them. And there is no Ishvara also. This is for an Asura. So I said, if world is not sustained through Dharma, sustained by Dharma, then what do the Asuras believe? How do they think that the world is being sustained? So the second line here gives a kind of an answer to their thought process, their philosophy. Aparas parasambhutam kimanyat kama haitukam. Kama haitukam, the last word, kama haitukam, means desire is the moolam. Desire is the cause. Cause for what? The world. The world is sustained by the desire. Desire is the hetu for the world. Kama means desire. Hetu. Hetu means cause. Kama is the cause for the world to run. And then they say, Kim Anyat? What else? What else can be there other than desire? What else can be there other than desire is their thought process. Then if we further question them, okay, if desire, what caused the creation of the world? How do you think the world was created? Then they go by what they experience. The Asura goes by what they experience. And they say what? Aparas parasambhutam. Apara. Aparaha means that one. Paraha means another one. In other words, here it is male and female. So male and female, sambhutam. So apara parasambhutam means born out of the union of the male and female. They will say the world is being created by the union of male and female, and it is caused by desire. And they will claim what else is needed. There is no need for Satyam, there is no need for Dharma, there is no requirement for Vedas, there is no Ishvara. The world has been sustained because of the desire and the union of male and female. This is their philosophy. And for them, desire is the cause for creation. So some people still believe that when we have to do something, when we have to achieve something, we need to have that desire, we need to have that passion. Some people wrongly believe that only when we have this desire and passion, we will be able to achieve things. Desire will help you to act on it, definitely. But for us to act on something, it need not be always only through desire. It can be always also through duty. So, anyway, only if there is a desire to construct a house, a person works towards it. Right? So for them, they say the desire is the moolam. The desire is the moolam for anything to be created in this world. Ishvara is not the cause for them. Desire is the cause for this world. And why do they say that way? Because for them, they believe only in pratyaksha pramana. Pratyaksha pramana, we've discussed there. Pratyaksha pramana means source of knowledge. Pratyaksha means what I experience. Pratyaksham. Whatever I experience is my source of knowledge. And for them, whatever they experience is real for them. Remember, there are different sources of knowledge. We have seen Pratyaksham, Anumana, and then we also said Shastra Pramana. Shastras as a source of knowledge. For an Asura, they believe only in Pratyaksha Pramana. They do not use Anumana, which is inference, or Yukti, logic, or Shastras as Pramana. So their philosophy is known as Charvaka philosophy. Charvaka philosophy, there is a philosophy in one of those philosophies within India itself. In those days, even when Bhagavan is talking about them, so obviously Nastikas existed even in those period, and in those period also people believed in all these material things. They did not have any, there were some people who did not believe in Ishvara also. So even in those days, this philosophy existed. Charu means beautiful. So Charvaka means which is beautiful in words to listen to. So Charvaka philosophy is very beautiful or very attractive when we listen to their philosophy. When they talk about material benefits, when they talk about comforts, when they talk about all those things, it is very attractive. So that's why it's called as Charvaka philosophy. And the Charvaka philosophy is when we actually, that's why we talked about, right, when we actually be in that circle with people who are materialistic in nature, even if we are not strong enough in our spiritual attitude, with our spiritual attitude, then even we may get attracted to them, or we may get even changed. We may be changed by them. Because they will speak well, and whatever they speak will resonate well with whatever we experience directly. So this is Charvaka. So when we talk about now Pramana, source of knowledge, a person's philosophy will depend on what they take as Pramana, what they take as source of knowledge, or what we take as our instrument of knowledge, as the means of knowledge. You remember, whenever when we like somebody and we listen to that person, we listen to that person and we believe in whatever that person says. So our source of knowledge, and then our philosophy or our mindset will change according to what the person says. So our philosophy generally depends on our instrument of knowledge or our source of knowledge. For us, for Vedanta, for Vedantins, we use Vedanta as Pramana. The Vedas are our Pramana, the Upanishads as our Pramana, the Bhagavad Gita as our Pramana. So our philosophy will be based on that. But if we use, there will be some people who believe in the Karma Kanda of the Vedas, the Veda Purva Bhaga, where they talk about all the material benefits and the yajnas and the pujas and the rituals and the parayanas and the things that you can do to achieve those things. The sadhanas, many sadhanas would have been prescribed in the Veda Purva Bhaga for us to achieve a lot of material things. And if they believe in that, then their philosophy will also be based on that. Then there could be some people who do not take Shastra as a Pramana at all, neither the Veda Purva Bhaga nor the Vedanta Bhaga. They will simply use only their sense organs as Pramana. If they use the sense organs as Pramana, as in, I will only believe if I see. So there could be some people we could have heard, right? I will only believe in God if I am able to see the God. Unless I am seeing it for myself, how can I believe that there is a God? So these are people who believe only in their sense organs. Then if they believe only in their sense organs, then their philosophy will also be based only on that. Remember, and sense organs cannot be believed totally also. As I said, there are examples right from the standard Vedanta example, Advaita Vedanta example, where we see a snake on a rope, or a mirage, or even sun rising in the east and setting in the west. This is our experience. Our eyes say that the sun rises in the east and sets in the west. But the reality is the sun is in the same place, only the earth rotates. So our sense organs cannot be trusted totally. For us, Shastra Pramana is important. And Shastras talk about Dharma and Adharma. And remember, the problem is, or the issue is, or the subtle thing that we have to note is, Dharma or Adharma are imperceptible. We will not be able to show Dharma. We cannot hear Dharma. We cannot touch Dharma. It is imperceptible. It is invisible. Similarly, Papa and Punya is also imperceptible. I cannot show Papam. I cannot hear Papam. I cannot touch or feel Papam. That is why we call Papam and Punyam as, in our culture, in our Shastram, we call them as Adrishtam. We always use the term Adrishtam. Remember, in Adrishtam in English is loosely translated as luck. But luck means totally different thing. Luck means an accident or something that was not expected. Whereas Adrishtam means that which cannot be seen. Adrishtam. Papa and Punya are something that is for real and that cannot be seen. Adrishta Palam, we say. If somebody gets something bad, we say, his Adrishtam is only that much. Or if he gains something, we'll say, his Adrishtam is very good. In our culture, there is no concept of luck. There is nothing called luck. Everything happens because of karma. If somebody hits a lottery, somebody gets a lottery, somebody has an accident, everything is because of karma. That is what our philosophy is, our Shastras say. There is only Papam and Punyam working at different times and different levels, which we are not able to see, perceive, but we are able to experience the outcome of the Papam and Punyam. So the Asura philosophy is about not believing anyone. Remember, Asatyam. They do not believe anybody except their sense organs. So that is what their philosophy is. And we are also partly guilty because we also teach our children not to trust anyone at a very early age. We tell our children not to trust others. Actually, it's a wrong advice. We think we are teaching good for them, but we are making their lives difficult. As we have to give them the chance to trust others, and only if they have actually got some experience in which they have mislaid the trust, then they have to readjust and also see what could have been the reason why it was actually not, why they had behaved in a certain manner. Trust is very important, and therefore we have to understand, for the Asuras right now, they don't trust anyone. They trust only their sense organs. So this is Sloka number 8. Asatyam apratishtamte jagada huranishvaram aparasparasambhutam kimanyat kamahaitukam. The world is without truth, without Dharma, without Ishvara, and it is born out of the union of male and female. The world is caused by desire alone. What else is their philosophy? Now Bhagavan in the next sloka explains What do these kind of people, where do they end up? Where do they end up? Or what is the benefit or detriment of such a philosophy? With this philosophy, where do they end up? That is in Sloka number 9. Etam drishtimavashtabhya nashtatmanolpabuddhayah prabhavantyugra karmanah kshayaya jagato hitah. Etam drishtimavashtabhya nashtatmanolpabuddhayah prabhavantyugra karmanah kshayaya jagato hitah. Etam means such, what we talked about in the previous sloka, such people or such view. Drishtim, such view. Drishtim means view, philosophy. This kind of such view, avashtabhya means holding, or holding such a view. Nashtatmanolpa buddhayah. Nashtatmanah means loser. They are lost. Holding such a view, they are lost. Nashta means lost. Atmanah means themselves. They lose themselves. If somebody has got this philosophy, the problem is they lose themselves. When we see they lose themselves, Dharma mokshartat nashtah. Because of having this view, they lose all the punyam. And because of that, not following Dharma, they are not able to get a calm, contented mind. And therefore, they lose spiritually, they lose themselves. Nashtat manah. So, because these people, such people don't bother about papam and punyam, they don't believe in it, they don't know what is papam, what do they gain out of punyam, and what do they lose because of papam. And because of that, they lose themselves. Remember, in life, all we need is punyam. Punyam is the only thing we need. To know that in this world we need only punyam, not the name, fame, money, power, position, wealth, all those things. To get to that understanding itself, to get to that realization itself, one needs a lot of punyam. One needs a lot of punyam to know and realize that I need only punyam. Only through punya we will be able to get a clean mind, pure mind, and only through a pure mind, clean mind, we will get moksha. So these people, nashtat manah, they lose themselves. See, when we talk about maturity, what is inner maturity? When you say this person has got maturity, he's got mental maturity. To know what is right, to know what is wrong. If I know what is right, what is wrong, does it make me mature? No. That is not called inner maturity. Because everybody knows it. Everybody knows it. Even a thief knows it. Even a cheat knows what is right and what is wrong. Because a thief would not like to get his things stolen, because he knows that it is not right. He will fight for it. So to know what is right and know what is wrong is not inner maturity. Inner maturity is when I know what I get to lose if I do something wrong. I'm not talking about getting caught, getting punished, or all those things. What do I get to lose if I do something wrong? Spiritually, that is called as inner maturity. It is only when I realize and I understand what I get to lose when I do some papa, that is when I have got inner maturity. But generally what we do, we look to see what we can gain by doing all these wrong things. If I lie somewhere, will I stand to gain? So why not lie a bit? If I hide something, will I get to gain? Why not hide something? If I cheat somewhere, will I get to gain? Why not cheat somewhere? As long as I don't get caught, it is fine. This is the attitude we have. But the real maturity is when we really get to know what am I going to lose if I do these things. People who think, if somebody is able to lie a bit, cheat a bit, hide a bit without getting caught, we call this person street smart. He's a street smart person. Wrong terms to actually make the person do these certain things which is not acceptable by our shastras. You say, he knows, he is a good talker, he knows how to talk, he can talk his way through. We say he's street smart. But only an intellect which is able to see, which is able to realize the loss by doing such acts, only that intellect can be said to have at inner maturity. It has attained inner maturity. We can only say if that intellect is able to realize those things. So for that, we should first know what is real loss, what is real gain. What is real loss from a life standpoint and what is real gain from a life standpoint. The problem here is we don't realize that many people don't realize they have lost their peace of mind. They think that they have gained money, they have gained car, they have gained house, they have fame, they have large house, they have people around them, have a lot of relations. And generally, wherever there is money, wherever there is fame, people and relations flock there. There's no need to say. So when people have gained their money, fame, car, house, possessions, they are surrounded by people and relations as well. And they think they have gained. But what they could have lost is their peace of mind. Sometimes we kind of stretch ourselves to get ourselves a large home, more properties, we get into more commitments. In the end we say, I've been doing so much things for my life that I don't have time for spiritual pursuit. I don't have time to attend classes or listen to Vedanta or do puja or do Parayana or do any kind of spiritual pursuit, to do any kind of spiritual sadhana. And the moment we face challenges in life, we get tense and we lose our peace of mind. So whatever we had gained, the house, car, possession, whatever, what we have lost? Peace of mind. So we gain health, losing the real purpose, losing our time for which we should have been putting it for our real purpose, for spiritual pursuit. All these gains are superficial only. And problem is we are worried or concerned and interested only in what the society thinks as gain. The society thinks all these material pursuits, these material things are the real gain. But what is real gain? The real gain is in our mind. Whether I am not getting affected, how much of peace of mind I have, whether I am able to go to sleep immediately on lying down, whether I am able to move, whether I am not getting affected by things around me, whether it is things that come to me, things that leave me. Am I getting affected? Am I getting affected by people who come into my life? Am I getting affected by people who leave my life? Am I getting affected by possessions that come into my life? Am I getting affected by possessions that leave me? Only if I am able to say that I don't get affected by it, I have peace of mind, that is my real gain. And what happens? Loss, I do not have the ability to enjoy things. So, and generally, when do we lose peace of mind? Whenever we do something that shouldn't be done, then too we lose our peace of mind. Wherever we have done some bit of exaggeration, wherever we have done some bit of cheating, wherever we have gained more than what we should have actually gained, those are the places, those are the things that will take away our peace of mind. So, what we have to do is, we have to understand this. The only enjoyment we gain by letting others know, we have this object, when we actually accumulate a lot of things, the happiness we think we have is by letting others know that I have this house, I have this property, I have this car, I have this jewelry. Letting others know, making them feel jealous, make us feel a bit superior, and that way we think we have gained something. But the real loss is ours, and when we get to know at the fag end of our lives, we know we have lost our peace of mind. We know, we start to fear who will take care of us when we are old, whether these things will be enough for us, whether we still have our health, whether my sons and daughters will take care of me, or whether they will take care of my property or whatever I leave behind for them, or whether somebody else will come and cheat them, or what will happen to me after death. All these thoughts come to us. The mind, which was happy when there was nothing with me, is now not anymore happy when so many things are around with me. I might be in an air-conditioned room, but my mind is still could be hot. So this is when something is got through asatyam, when something is got out of adharma, we will not be able to relish that. We will not be able to relish that. We will not be able to live in peace. That is why Upanishad says Satyameva Jayate. Only through Satyam, only through Dharma, we will be able to win in this life. And here Bhagavan says, Nashtatmanaha, they lose themselves. The Asuras lose themselves because they do not believe in Dharma and Adharma. They believe that the world is asatyam. They believe that the world is without truth. They do not believe in vedas. They do not believe in papa punya, and therefore they lose themselves. They may have wealth, they may have a lot of properties in their name, they may even have fame. Remember, name, fame, power, position does not necessarily mean they have done a lot of punya. The problem for us is we equate punya with wealth and papa with poverty. Is a wrong notion. It's not poverty. It may not be even poverty. Of course, extreme poverty can be out of papa. But person having a simple life does not mean that they have done papa. And a person really living in having a wealthy lifestyle does not really mean that they have done a lot of punya. When we'll slowly understand that as we actually go through this, especially when we come to chapter 3 in Bhagavad Gita, we'll be able to understand that better. So, real inner maturity is when I know the real laws, and when I follow a wrong path, what is the real loss? If I come to know, if I understand it, if I realize it, that is when I can say I have got inner maturity. That is when I can say I have got my intellect which is mature. And remember, for me to get this maturity, the world will not help me. The world will not help me to get this inner maturity. In fact, the world will try to drag me down. If I am trying to be honest, the world will say you are not smart. The world will say you are not fit for this world. The world will induce me to do papam. The inner maturity is something that I have to do on my own. In fact, Bhagavan is going to say, the Asuras will clearly say, this is how the people, the Asura people will also say, the Asura Sampat people say, the world is like that. See, whatever be the world, I should not falter from Dharma. The entire world can go in one way, and if I have to go the other way, so be it. Do not start doubting yourself as long as you are in the right side of Dharma. Because even majority can be wrong. Just because majority, the world believes in materialistic pursuits as the purpose of life, it does not mean that is the truth. So for us to come to Daivi Sampat, we need to see the real laws. Only if we see the real laws, we will know what to follow. So Asuras, following the path of Adharma, they nashtatmanaha. And why did they attain loss? This holding such a view, nashtatmanaha, avashtabya etam drishtim nashtatmanaha. Why did they attain this loss? Bhagavan says, alpa buddhayaha. Alpa. Alpa means choosing an inferior option. We use this sometimes to criticize people. He is an alpam. Alpa means he is a person who is choosing an inferior option. Or in other words, indiscriminate. He is not able to discriminate between what is good, what is bad, what is superior and what is inferior. So he is indiscriminate. So when there is a proper ripe banana and overripe banana, if somebody chooses an overripe banana, it's like alpam. You choose an inferior option. So inferior option is an alpam. Alpam buddhayaha. So here, what is the inferior option this person has chosen? This person has chosen artha kama, as in name, fame, power, position, wealth, over a superior option which is dharma moksha. He has not chosen dharma or moksha, which is a superior option, whereas he has chosen artha kama as the purushartha. So this is alpa buddhaya. So a person who chooses temporary happiness. Artha kama can give happiness, but only temporarily. Whereas dharma moksha will give happiness over longer term. And moksha is ultimate. It's being ever blissful. So the intellect is the faculty which chooses, right? The intellect is the one which chooses. So alpa buddhayaha. This intellect is alpam. More so on this sloka and next sloka, we will see it in the next class. Any questions or comments? Okay. If not, we will see again in the next class. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Swasti Prajabhya Paripalayantam Nyayena Margena Mahim Mahishaha Gobhramanebhyo Shubhamastu Nityam Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namah.
Hari Om.
Hari Om.